Can I take you back 20 years ago to, I mean, here I am going through one of my nostalgic phases again, but when I was a mayor, and one of the first things I think I did when I became the mayor of Wanganui was look at how we were spending money. And the first thing I did was go and tap the shoulder of somebody from the private sector to become my chief executive rather than somebody from the relatively profligate public sector. And the second thing I did was looking at money that was being spent well and not, was pull the Wanganui District Council out of local government New Zealand. Because I looked at our annual fees and then I looked at what we got in exchange for that and went, you have got to be joking. One of the great ironies, in actual fact, of one of the middle managers that was made redundant by the incoming chief executive at the Wanganui District Council ended up running a good tranche of local government New Zealand, which sort of just quietly confirmed every prejudice that I had about the organisation. Anyhow, that was a long time ago, and you think, well, people have changed, personalities have, and things like that. Well, no. For local government New Zealand, things have got worse, not better. After Auckland and Christchurch City pulled out of local government New Zealand, saying we're not getting any value for money, so did the West Coast Regional Council, so did the Grey District Council, so did the Kaipara District Council, the Westland District Council. And now, as a result of a vote this week, the Western Bay of Plenty District Council, now what will Western Bay of Plenty be? Whakatane, I'll find out in just a second, by a slim vote, but nonetheless a vote, debated to resign their membership and passed that particular equation, the latest to go. Talk to us about that decision and why is the Mayor of Western Bay of Plenty, James Denyer, and he joins us now. James, welcome to the show. Lovely to have you on.
Thank you, Michael. Good morning.
Good morning to you. First of all, tell me a little bit about yourself. How long have you been Mayor?
So I was elected as Mayor from the 2022 elections, and I was a councillor before that from 2019.
Right, and Western Bay of Plenty, is that Whakatane? What's the region you look after?
No, it's not. It goes from Waihi Beach over to Otamarako, most of the way down to Arotua, but excluding Tauranga City.
Okay, so you're predominantly rural in background, are you?
There's a fair bit of rural area, but our major towns are Katikati, Waihi Beach, Omokura, and Te Puke, and Makatu as well.
Right, and so what's the population of Western Bay of Plenty?
60,000 and growing fast.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so you're the sort of spillover from Tauranga then, are you?
Yes, we're counted in technical terms as a Tier 1 growth council, but yes, you could say we're a spillover from Tauranga.
So 60,000, you're going up there. Yeah. So you're bigger than Invercargill. Wow. Okay. All right. I've got my bearings now. Thank you. All right, James. There's by a slim margin. You had a debate this week about pulling out of local government New Zealand. Can you tell me first of all, before we could come to the vote and the reasons why? Well, no. What are your association with local government New Zealand? What do you pay a year to belong to that organisation?
Yeah, so our subscription for the last year was 74,000, and with a few extra zone 2 and things like that, it takes up to about 80,000.
$80,000 a year. And what do you get for that?
Well, there's quite a lot, and there's a lot of training and induction that's provided, and advice for elected members, support whether mental health or policy. They produce submissions or give an update on what submissions are going in and what you might like to submit on. And then for me personally, you've got Mayor School, which is incredibly important at the start of the triennium, where you get to meet all the other mayors and get to know them, and a little bit of education about what's involved and how to do your role. Those are sort of softer benefits, so, along with networking and conferences and learning and so on. But there are financial benefits too. So we're part of the Mayor's Task Force for Jobs, which gives us access to $180,000 of funding. So even on just a plain financial basis,
is that $180,000 for you, or $180,000 over the entire country?
No, that's just for us.
Okay, all right. All right. So, and that gives assists 25 young people into employment in your area. You mean you couldn't get
That's the
access to that?
minimum.
Hmm?
That's the minimum target level. So obviously we'll aim for more than that. But these are rangatahi who are difficult to get into employment, struggling their lives, and we give them a bit of a head start and set their lives up for something better.
Okay. So you actually think that your membership of local government New Zealand is a good thing, but you lost the vote by 6-5. Why? Why did the majority of your councillors vote to remove or disestablish yourself from local government New Zealand?
Yeah, I think it was mainly a political decision. There was a view that LGNZ had become distant from some of its members, or had a more left wing viewpoint than some of our elected members had. I don't think that's a great reason to leave. I think that they represent us. They are a membership organisation, and we're best being in the tent to influence, or both government and where LGNZ itself goes to.
Can you point to anything in the Western Bay of Plenty that your membership of local government New Zealand has allowed you to do that you couldn't have done yourself?
Well, that's a tricky one. I mean, I talk. Well, firstly, there's mayor's task force of jobs, and that's not just the rangatai into employment. That's mentoring programs as well. As I said, they do provide information on submissions, which we probably don't have the full capacity to do that entirely ourselves. Um, so the mayor's school, there's that, and then if one of our members has a problem, it's a tough job. You'll appreciate that. I'm sure you can get harassment
No, it's
or
an easy job. It's an easy job. No
breakdown.
nonsense. It's only tough because you think it's tough. It's a very easy job being a mayor and a councillor. Done it for a long time. There's not a great deal to it. It's only made difficult if you think it's difficult.
I think that might be a little bit of a broad brush. I think some people find it easy
Well,
to
then they
get in their
shouldn't be there.
stride.
They
Obviously,
should bugger
obviously
off
you
and go
did.
and do something else. If they find it difficult being an elected member, then why did they stand in the first place?
I think everyone has different backgrounds and different skills. I think some people have suffer harassment. I don't think that's something that one can just take in their
That's not
stride. I think that's
harassment. I
quite a
mean, it's
serious
just it's
problem.
such a bloody PC woke term. Listen, mate, I had bullets sent to me when I was an MP and threats in the street. Much worse than what harassment. You get a few adverse comments on social commentary, and somehow this turns into harassment. Have we got sort of wimpy councillors these days? Do you think?
Not at all. I know this starts to get quite into confidential matters, so I can't talk to specific instances. But some people need help. Not everyone is as strong mentally as perhaps you are.
Mm. If you're not strong mentally, you shouldn't be in public life, James. It's as simple as that. But going back to this, I'm struggling to, okay, so here you are by 6-5, your councillors decided to leave local government New Zealand. I assume that puts more responsibility on you to step up, does it, as mayor, to advocate and to lobby for particular issues that are of relevance to Western Bay of Plenty, yeah?
Well, I feel I do that anyway, but it does, not being a member, does reduce the opportunities for me to, say, meet ministers, because routinely ministers will come to LGNZ events, a conference, or other get togethers, and that's an ideal opportunity to speak to those ministers. It may mean that I have to make a special trip or organise a meeting, which can be done, but it's
Mm.
just somewhat less easy to do.